Hello, my name is Ashlyn C. Davis. I'm 12 years old. I'm in the 7th grade. I attend Piedmont Middle School IB, and I attend Mount Moriah Primitive Baptist Church with Pastor Sidney Phillips. My focus question today is, why was the church an important part of Dr. King's work as a civil rights activist? What did he gain by working with and through it? The church was the most influential place Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. could deliver his political message as a civil rights activist. In fact, he was a minister and was able to deliver his message of civil rights from the pulpit to his congregation. This was the best way to get the word out on any views to a large group of African American people, due to church being the only place our race could gather without Caucasians getting upset and creating violent situations. Gathering as a large group made Caucasians very nervous, and the church environment was the only place where there could be a gathering to deliver God's word and any messages for civil rights. Those that attended church would hear the message from Dr. King and spread the word to others not attending church services. Due to Dr. King's influence and respect as a minister, many believed in his message of equality, desegregation, peace, and goodwill toward all men, women, and children. Dr. King was the most formative figure in the modern fight for civil rights. His legacy had made it an honor for those that have continued his work and followed his cause. In the 1960s and 70s, the church was a tremendous forum for politics. Many political figures like Martin Luther King Jr. used the church to deliver their political messages. What I have noticed at 12 years old is that whenever it is election time, the politicians always come to my church, Mount Moriah Primitive Baptist Church, and other churches to deliver their political message to the church congregation in the same manner it was done when Dr. King delivered his civil rights messages as at the church. Our pastor, Elder Sidney Phillips, allows the politicians to come before the congregation to say a few words about the office they are running for and their goals. After the politician finishes their brief speech, Pastor Phillips always says kind words and asks the congregation to respectfully take the time to understand what is happening in our community and or other matters concerning the African American community. Dr. King's influence as a minister allowed him to be able to conduct meetings and speeches at the church. Dr. King believed in Jesus Christ and the Christian gospel. His faith was strongly based around the biblical commandments of loving your neighbor as loving yourself, loving God above all, loving your enemies, and praying for them. His nonviolent thought was to turn the other cheek in the Sermon on the Mount. In his speech, "I have been on the mountaintop," he states he just wanted to do God's will. When Dr. King was elected president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, which helped Dr. King with the civil rights movement, he was able to let the movement grow into something bigger through the church and beyond. In April 1963, the SCLC began a campaign against racial segregation and economic injustice. The campaign used nonviolent and straightforward methods developed by Dr. King, Reverend Wyatt T. Walker, and others. The goal on this approach was to provide leadership and organization in the fight for civil rights without making the effort violent or negative. Through the church and the religious beliefs of Dr. King, the steps toward establishing civil rights became a reality. I am proud to know that I am a part of a great religious foundation at Mount Moriah Primitive Baptist Church, and a pastor that believes in supporting the same views of Dr. Martin Luther King. In 2013, the same measures are used to get the word out to vote, to support current day activists that continue to fight for equality, fairness, and overall improvement of our civil rights. I believe in my church and what it stands for in delivering God's word, but also that my church cares enough to open its doors to those external to our church family to allow us to know more about our rights, where our focus should be for growth and equality. Thank you, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for bridging this union and for paving the way for years to come to where religious leaders understand the importance of our race being well-rounded religiously and politically. Thank you.